Good morning, everybody, and a very warm welcome to Mildenhall and Districts. And my name's Susanna, and I live with trains. And today is rail replacement part one. And this isn't going to be my usual type of video because today I'll be doing some narration over some stills, just to sort of explain to you really how I go about doing things. And I don't usually film it as I go along. So today I decided that as I've been taking some photographs of the work I've been doing, that I do some narration attached to it and see how that goes and see if you guys enjoy it, because sometimes people kind of appreciate the fact that you can actually sort of see, it's almost like a step by step as to what I'm doing, and I'll give you an idea of my thought process. So enjoy rail replacement part one, and I'll chat to you at the end. So I'll just go over and hand over to myself. So bye for now. Bye bye. So welcome to rail replacement part one. And in this first image, it's just a basic image of just me having a bit of fun with my passengers and my rail replacement buses, which I love so much. So this is just the first image, just basically just showing you and giving you the idea and the impression that there's now no more trains running to St Anne's Station for the foreseeable future, and all the passengers are now having to bark on the two rail replacement buses going to a couple of different places depending on where they're going. So you've got the bus on the left, which is the Optare, and that's going to Winchester on the South West Trains service, it's Winchester Station. And whereas the Volvo Olympian, that's also on rail replacement for South West Trains, but that's heading in a slightly different direction, or maybe the opposite direction. And it was just to give you the impression that these were all the passengers that were on the platform, and now they're having to make their way onto the buses because there are no trains. So before we started, I thought I'd take some initial photographs of the St Anne's Station layout as it was before I decided that I was going to make some changes to this layout. And I thought it was just quite important, just so you guys had a rough idea of how it looked like before and how it's going to look like afterwards. And as you can see, you've got an overall view of St Anne's Station, and you've got just so here on this second image, you can see the overall view of St Anne's Station, and you can just sort of see what's going on. And as you can see, there's just one platform, and you can, one of the things that I always noticed about, that I always realised about St Anne's Station, that considering it's only one platform, it's got such a huge platform, and it didn't need to be this wide, in all honesty. So the work that's being carried out is all going to be all carried out within the same footprint as you see here. One of the other things to notice that it's got loads and loads of trees down the side here, and also it's, like I said, it's just a single platform, and you've got the entrance and exit here with the station building down below. In the third image, you just kind of get a closer look of this platform as it is. So again, this is just an idea of, just to give you an idea of where we're at with it. The idea is I need to do some work going up. Well, I want to build a new heritage line, but I wanted to use this track work that is here, just to show you what I wanted to take up, because I wanted to replace this with different track, and I wanted to reuse this track over at the heritage line. And also, like I said, this just gives you an overall view of the platform as it stands. On the third image, you can see how the end looks. So you can see that, excuse me, that there's the road bridge that comes down, and you can see that it's all kind of got an embankment here, and that the platform doesn't go all the way down. It just cuts off just along here. And then you've got the fourth image here, which again is just a quick view of the front from the overbridge, and as you can sort of see with the backdrop on there. And if we go to the next image, you can then have a closer look of how it is as it stands. Well, it doesn't look like that now, but that's how it looked. On the next one, you can sort of have a look from the interior. It's one of my favourite views, actually. I do like this view a lot. So again, it's just to give you various sort of views of like before and after. So it's just to kind of, so when you looked at your work that's been done, you can sort of see exactly what has been done. And this is an overall view with the bus depot slightly off to the left. And then finally, from the construction point of view, is, as you can see in this point, I've already actually started. You can see that I've removed all the trees and sort of pretty much evacuated the whole area. The cars have gone, the trees have gone, everything's sort of gone already. So that was kind of like the first part of it. Now, on this first part of the road replacement video, you'll be seeing basically you'll be seeing the construction of how I'm doing it, and then in the second part will be the detailing part and adding the finishing touches and things like that. So you won't see it all in one video, you'll see it in 2 videos, but basically this first part is going to be just general construction of the new area within the same footprint. As you can see from this 10th image, you can sort of see that how wide the platform is, and I really felt that I could make better use of this space. And so the plan was to essentially just put a point up the top here. Let me just sort of do it like that. Put a point at the top and add another platform in. So I've got 2 platforms, and add a point down the bottom here and narrow this platform. And so as you can see just how wide it is, and when you consider the size of a 00 gauge figure, this is just absolutely massive. I mean, albeit you do have the station building down here, but it was still really, really wide. In this next image, you can sort of see where I've now evacuated and taken off all the foliage that was here. Just so, because what I wanted to do is put the point down up the top here and essentially bring the track work along here and also extend the platform out. So you can see that I'm making preparations just to get rid of the foliage and to remove that. Now that was made with Oasis blocks as well as this embankment here. So it's very easy for me to sort of lift out and carve and to reshape. It's very, very simple. So I'm really pleased that I used the Oasis blocks for it. Now if we go to the next image across, you can now sort of see that with the masking tape here, just how much I was prepared to remove from the platform. So as you can see, I've put the masking tape all the way along. So I took about, I think it's about 1.5 inches or 2 inches off of that, and you can see the track work is still in place here at this point. It's still the original track alignment there. So because that helped me sort of understand how much I needed to take off here and essentially just still reuse this platform at all. I didn't touch any of this at all. So I just wanted to keep all of that. Now the idea was to use my mini saw, which I did, to follow this line and essentially just lift up this section, but it wasn't quite as easy as I'd expected, but nonetheless it did work. Now as you can see in this next image, that whole section has been removed, and you can also see that the embankment up the top end has also been removed. So you can see now exactly just how much has been removed, and also had to scrape it off. So it was a little bit more intensive than I'd expected, because I didn't glue it and I thought I could just lift it, but obviously it was a bit more intense than I thought, but it wasn't too bad in the end. And the mini saw really did do the job. And I used as you can see, I've got a knife here, and that was just to make sure that the edges were nicely trimmed. And as you can see, this is a much more realistic sort of platform width than what I had before. It was just way too wide before. And you can also see that the track alignment is still here. The track's still here, and it's still the same alignment. So I haven't actually done anything with this. So the whole point now is to stick a point here, put another line where the knife is, and then bring it back in at the top. So on the next image, you can now sort of see essentially me chiseling everything out. I've now removed the track work that was on the right hand side, so all the track work is now gone, and now I'm just cleaning up all the wood and just basically sanding it and cleaning it all up, ready for the new track to be installed. And as you can see at this point here, I've now installed the new track work. The alignment, now if I just sort of remove that, hang on a second. So as you can see, I've put the new track work in. It's now concrete sleeper. I'm now moving away from the wooden stuff to the concrete sleeper track work as I'm upgrading and changing the track work as and when it's needed. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do this first is because I'm off for 2 weeks, so it gives me time to actually get this work done, and also because I wanted the track that I've lifted to be reused in Heritage Railway, and obviously save me the expense of buying specific track for that area when I could just reuse the track that I've had here and replace this track with the more modern concrete sleeper track. And you can also see here that I've put a Dapol footbridge here, sort of in preparation of trying to work out whether or not whether it's going to fit and where I was proposing to put it. So I was just trying to get my bearings as to what I was going to do. As you can also see, I've really trimmed back the Oasis blocks. That's really gone right back now. So there isn't much space between the back scene and the embankment now, but it's all done within the same footprint. I haven't moved the back scene at all or anything like that. The bus depot at the top is still there, so none of that has changed. The only thing is that I was a bit concerned about this because of the point work here, and now we've got this gap here for the platform, which didn't quite look as I'd expected, but it was kind of a bit of a compromise, and I'll show you how I got on with that in a few photos time, because essentially I've got a siding at the back, and I could have put a curved point in here and that would have brought it in more straighter and in line. The problem is with that is that I wouldn't be able to switch from access this siding that I've got going at the back here from both platforms. So that's why I did it this way. But I'm really happy with the end result, as you'll see. It's worked out really well in the end in any case, so I'm not too fussed about that. Here is a piece of foam board. So just like I've said to you in the past, when I make things, I had like a piece of card, and this is how it starts off, just one big piece of foam board, and then I kind of cut it down and manipulate it into what I want it to go. So that's how it started off, as one big piece of foam board. I've been learning a few things about foam boards since I started. Obviously I made the engine shed out of foam board, and it didn't quite go as well as I'd expected, but I've learned quite a bit with foam board since, and I'm still happy to use it. So I'm going to show you what I did with that. And then as you can sort of see here on this image, that I've started cutting the foam board up, and you can sort of see that you can manipulate the foam board to curve it around towards the track that you want. And then essentially I've just put this cross bracing in just to support it, and the idea is to extend this platform out down to here and marry up the extension onto the current piece of platform to give it the full length that I require. Like I said, you can easily cut foam board with a knife. You can cut it with scissors if you want. So it's very easy to work with. I used my glue gun to glue it down, so that made it quick and easy to hold. And then on this next image, you'll see how much more I've done, where I've now sort of added the retaining wall along here all the way along. It's kind of hard because it blends into the platform, because you can see I've done the platform here. This is all from that same sheet of foam boards that I showed you earlier, and like I said, it goes up in next to no time because it's so easy to work with. And then you can see another extension piece that I put in here, so that worked out really well. So I've now got an extension piece here, and then you've obviously got the extension piece there. On this image, you can see where I filled it and sanded it, and essentially just prepping it for painting. And let me just again take that off so you can see it better. So you can see that I've, like I said, just done all the prep work for it. So now you can sort of see the full sort of what I was going for here. So we've got the 2 tracks there in the passing loop. It basically fits a full coach EMU. So that's the most it can take, but that's fine with me. On this next image, again, you just see it just completely sanded off now. It's like I said, and you can also see totally the extension. You've got the extension here, got the little stick out jut out section here that I've added in as the extension to the original piece. And then obviously you've got the platform on platform 2 on the far side and the retaining wall. And here we have my network rail test train, and you can sort of see that I was just running that just to test basically the clearances and everything. I had to readjust the concrete sleeper. You can sort of see the track that I was using, the Pico 100 concrete sleeper track that I'm using. And you can also sort of see that I've painted now the platforms, and you can also see that I've added the engineering brick. Now I had a bit of a quandary with the brick, because at the far side, at the far end there, I had already started using the engineering blue brick to match in with the arches that I've got down the other end where the siding is, but at this end it was red brick, and I wasn't quite sure whether to redo the whole lot. And I probably will end up redoing the whole lot in the engineer's blue brick, but I'm not sure yet. But so far so good. I spent yesterday running trains along here and testing trains, so I know it all works. What I need to do is now to just wire it in. So basically both of them are wired, and then on part 2 we'll show you the more finishing touches. So what I'll do is I will leave you with one more image, and that is to show you where we stand as an overall view right now. You can see that it's all been painted up and it's all ready. I just put some basic ground cover down here, and then after I'll go over and blend it all in as and when I decide, because what I want to do before I do any work along here, these pieces, I want to put in the retaining wall that's along here. So, but I've run out of engineer's blue brick, so I need to get some more of that and then put that along their side there, and then we can start moving along. So this concludes the end of part 1 of rail replacement. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it's given you a bit of an insight as to how I think and what my thought process is and how I'm going to go about doing things and the materials I've used and things like that. Like I said, I did use a mini saw. I used the glue gun, scalpel, measurements, the sort of basic tools that we all have sort of knocking around. And like I said, if you don't own a glue gun, it is absolutely a wonderful piece of equipment. Just be careful not to burn your hands. So, like I said, this concludes the end of part 1, and join me for part 2, where we're going to be finishing it off and doing the ballasting and doing all the finishing details and stuff like that, and really getting it looking how I want it. Now, like I said, the reason why I wanted to add the extra platform at St Anne's was because, again, it's the main station at the back end of the layout, and so therefore it should have more than one platform. And it also avoids a bit of congestion, it adds a bit of interest, and it gives an opportunity to run around the trains around the back, past the other trains that are at the station. So, and that obviously gives great photo and filming opportunities as well. So there's a number of reasons why I've done it. And also because of the fact that it was going to be quite a big job and I happen to be off for the next couple of weeks now, it really gives me a chance to crack on and get on with these more heavy dutier jobs, because I still haven't finished Milton Hall Riverside Station at the front end, but the majority of that work has been done already, so it isn't going to take me a huge amount of sort of effort to get the work done. But obviously with St Anne's I actually needed to start cutting wood and measuring and lifting stuff and all the rest of it, and it was going to be a bit more intensive. So I knew that, so that's why I sort of deliberately decided to do that now whilst I'm off. So anyway, until the next time, my name's Susanna and I live with chains. Goodbye.